as a man went into the bathroom there, and the stewardess smelled smoke and alerted air marshals who were on that flight. When the man was questioned, he allegedly claimed he was trying to light his shoes on fire. That sparked this emergency response. There does not appear to be any sort of explosive devices. Canine units were sent in. A search on the plane was sent. So it does not appear any explosive devices were found in those shoes. The investigation is continuing. It appears the man who made these claims is a diplomat out of Qatar, and he may have been based in Washington and may have been caught smoking in the bathroom, and that is the leading theory at this time, and the investigation continues. So quite a scare after smoke smelled on this flight, and when the man was questioned, apparently some sort of comment about the shoes being lit on fire. As we know, we've seen the shoe bomber Richard Reed in the past, and we've seen the flight to Detroit on Christmas Day with underwear explosives, so law enforcement officials clearly not taking any chances. A scare in the air over Denver, but at this point, preliminary indications are there was no device, and the investigation is continuing.
Jonathan Deans, thank you.
Sue, now joining us on the phone is Congressman Peter King, a ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee, and he's been briefed on the situation. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome.
All right, what have you heard, Congressman?
What I've heard is very similar to what Jonathan's been saying, that the person is a diplomat in the Qatar embassy, that he was in the bathroom, the lavatory, and there was a smell of smoke. And when the air marshals subdued him, he claimed that he was smoking, and he tried to put out the cigarette on his shoe, and that's what created the smell. Investigation is ongoing, and that's really all I can say. It has not been resolved yet. I mean, certainly it caused tremendous concern. Federal authorities were involved, law enforcement's involved. It's taken very seriously. But as of now, there's no sign of explosive, but the investigation is continuing.
All right, Congressman, we know that you've been very vocal, of course. The TSA and a number of other agencies came under a lot of scrutiny after the so-called underwear bomber, the guy who wanted to attempt to blow up the airports or blow up the plane Christmas Eve. So we can understand, I guess, the sensitivity of law enforcement officials there, both on the flight and on the ground.
Absolutely. And if you have somebody behind a locked door lighting matches, you have the smell of smoke, you have apparently the smell of shoe rubber coming, you have to assume the worst in situations like that. And for a person to do this, if he was not a shoe bomber, then he's incredibly negligent and acted foolishly, especially if it turns out that he's a diplomat, as it appears that he was. I mean, you can't smoke in a plane, you can't be lighting matches in your plane, and you can't be talking about your shoes being on fire. So whatever happens to him, he deserves. But as of now, there is no indication that it wasn't explosive, but the air marshals no doubt acted properly, did the right thing, and this person acted totally irresponsibly.
Peter King out of Long Island on the Homeland Security Committee. Thank you, Congressman. And obviously that's the X factor, Sue. This was a diplomat.
Earlier on Good Day, we spoke with Representative Peter King, who expressed his views about the ordeal.
He should be facing charges. This, by the way, was a real issue last night when we thought that it was an actual a shoe bomb attack as to what would be done with him, because he does have diplomatic immunity, and it's a question of what can be done as far as interrogation, what can be done as far as taking him into custody. All of those were becoming very real issues. Fortunately, it turned out that it was not for real. But I agree with you. This is totally irresponsible. I think he should be removed from the country at the very least. Now, if this were you or I or Greg, we'd be definitely facing charges today.
And again, it doesn't look like al-Madini will face any charges, despite concerns from some, including Representative King, that perhaps he should. That's the latest from here. Greg, back to you in the studio.